Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Smith and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I have a fall DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful turkey wreath. I've been wanting to make this project for the past 2 years and finally got to it this year. I really do hope you enjoy this unique craft. Let me show you how to make this turkey wreath. To get started on today's project, you're going to need 2 of these turkey wood cutouts. Now the reason why I'm using 2 is because they are really thin this year. If you have one from the past that is thicker, then you can use 1, but these are really thin. So I'm going to glue 2 of them together to make them nice and sturdy. And I'm going to use a combination of this super glue and Elmer's school glue. Now to spread this around, I'm going to be using one of these paint brushes. Now I did pre-wet this and wrung it out. It'll just make it easier for me to move the glue around and to get it nice and even. You want to get it all the way out to all the edges, and you need it to stay moist until you can get it fully covered. Just make sure it's evenly coated and you got it all the way to the edge, all the way around. And then line up the other one. Squeeze them together. If you have a large amount of glue ooze out, make sure to wipe it off. And I have 2 pieces of cardboard here. I'm going to put this down in between the 2 pieces of cardboard. Now you can use poster board, cardboard, just something large and flat. Make sure you're well lined up. Put another piece on top, and then you want to weigh this down with a book or something heavy. Once you get it weighed down, you want to let this sit overnight so that you get a good seal. The glue will take a full 24 hours to fully cure. My 2 pieces of my turkey are glued together. It is much more sturdy. I'm very happy about that. I initially planned on staining my turkey, but for some reason the stain was not taking evenly over the turkey. So I changed my mind and decided to paint the base. I have my turkey all painted. Now I painted the whole base apple barrel burnt umber, and I really do love that dark rich brown. And then here on the face for the beak, I just went over the dark brown with some King's Gold, and then I mixed a little bit of the lipstick red in with the dark brown for his little gizzard or whatever this is called. And then for the eye, I just used a black Sharpie. Now that's the only detail that I'm going to add to my turkey, because I want the main focus to be on his plumage, his feathers in the back on this wreath. Next, you're going to need a 14-inch wire wreath form that you can get from Dollar Tree. This one happens to be gold, but you can use whatever color you can find. And then you're also going to need some plastic canvas. Now the plastic canvas, usually you can find over in like the embroidery section. And you need a piece that's large enough to fill the center of a 14-inch wreath. And I believe I picked mine up from Walmart. So just lay your wreath form down and take a little Sharpie or other pen and then just trace out the center so you know what size to cut it. And it cuts relatively easy, you just need a good pair of scissors. So we're going to attach our plastic canvas to the center of our wreath, and I'm just going to be using some nylon ties. So just find a space next to the side, push your nylon tie through. And attach it to the center ring. Just like that, and then work your way around. You'll want to put one zip tie at each crossbar. This is what it should look like once you get your plastic canvas attached. Just go in and trim your zip ties. So now when I attach my turkey, I want to attach him kind of over to the side here. All of his feathers are going to come out back here, and that's going to be the part of our wreath. So there are two things I want to make sure. One, this hole up here is going to be where a crossbar is so I can attach it. Two, this piece down here needs to be far enough down that it covers the wire frame there. And three, this piece needs to be up and covering the frame. So I can only see just a very small, tiny amount, so let me move it. There you go. So you don't want to see any of the wire frame here or down here. You want the sign to cover it. Okay, so that way it looks like the turkey's walking this way and then all of his feathers are behind him. So once you have the placement correctly, you want to take your Sharpie and then again just kind of roughly go over so you can see where it is and where your placement's going to be. So now you know exactly where your turkey is going to be placed. You know you don't have to put any mesh here, but that you do need to start your mesh before the line so that you don't see it. But I can't wait to get this baby done. I think it is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Love it already. So let's finish setting up the sign to be attached. Here in the hole where the jute cord was, we're going to put some floral wire. And I just used the floral wire that I pick up from Dollar Tree. This is 26 gauge and you get 100 feet. They have several different colors to choose from. I do prefer the silver because it pretty much disappears no matter what color I use it on. So you put it through the hole, one through the hole, one over the top. Pull it to the back and give it a good twist. You just need to make sure that you're leaving it long enough so that you can attach it to the wire frame. So I have my two pieces long enough to attach. That right there is approximately how I have it. So now you need to look and see where you need to add your 2 pipe cleaners. So I can see I want to put one about here and one about here so that I can attach it to the wire frame. So that's right there. Just add a nice dab of hot glue. I have both of my pipe cleaners and my floral wire attached to my turkey. So my turkey is all ready to go onto my wreath. For our turkey feathers, I'm going to be using a combination of these 2. This one is Celebrate It. It is from the fall section. It is 9.5 inches at 19 feet. I did pick this one up at Michael's. I really did like all the fall colors in there. Reds, blues, oranges, yellows, very, very pretty. And then I'm also going to be using this one, which is the jute colored. This is 10 inches by 10 yards. This is the Poly Pro mesh ribbon. This I picked up from Hobby Lobby. So I've started to attach our little bundles here to our wreath form. Now it's a lot easier if you go in and you set up some of your zip ties ahead of time before you make your bundles. So we're going to be attaching in each section, and each section is between the 2 crossbars, 5 bundles, and we're going to be attaching it to this second ring from the center right here. So we're only going to be attaching it to a single ring. Okay, just run your zip tie underneath, pull it in, get it down to where it started, and then set it to a side. You'll want to put 5 of these in each section. You want to take your mesh, you want to cut it into strips at 10 inches. You'll want to use either a rotary cutter or a really good pair of scissors. And then once you have your piece, you want to grab diagonal corners and slightly pull. So then you take one corner, put it down. I like to fold it a little bit, like that. Same thing on the other diagonal corner, fold down, fold in. Take that section, bring it to the middle. Take the other side and bring that to the middle, and then scrunch right in the center. Like that. Then you're going to take those 2, you're going to bring them together and turn it over. You want these cut sides to be down. So it looks like that. You grab that, you slide it into your zip tie, lay it down to the one next to it so you come through the same amount, and then pull down your zip tie, get it nice and tight, and trim. Now for this outer ring, they will all be the same pattern. Then on the next ring, I'll change to the plain jute colored mesh, and I'll just go back and forth as I layer down. So I'll show you one more time. You want to cut your mesh into strips of 10 inches. Grab opposite corners, give a little tug. Fold your corner in, fold over. Fold your corner in, fold over, bring that to the center, bring the other side to the center, and then scrunch right in the middle. Okay, And then you take those and you fold them together, bring them down side by side, and turn it over so that your cut side is down. Slip it in, come alongside the next one so you're in the same depth, and tighten down. I think that looks so pretty. I'm going to continue my first row and then I'll come back and show you how to start your second row. Now I have my first row all the way in and I'm really happy with the result. I am now adding my second row and the second color of mesh, and I wanted to show you here how I attach them. I'm still using the zip ties, and I just use the holes here in the plastic canvas and I string it through. I start from the front and go down and then come back up through the back. And you want to make sure that you go at least 2 spaces away. You don't want to go to the one right next to it. Otherwise, when you try to tighten it down, it'll just break and pull through. And you can see that's quite a bit of a distance that I dropped down. That's a good 2.5 inches. And the reason why I did that is I want to make sure I still see the other color in the back when this one lays on top. And then when I go to add the next one, which will be the colored and patterned mesh, I'll do the same thing. I'll drop it down so that I can see all the different colors from all the different layers. And I'm figuring it'll probably take 4 layers to complete this. I have my second row in and I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Now on my second row it took about 23 bundles. On my outer ring it took 20, and the reasoning why is I wanted to make sure that I filled in those spaces where my sign is. So my sign's still going to go about here, and I wanted to make sure you couldn't see the wreath form behind it. So I filled in with that color. Now I only have 4 more pieces of my fabric here. So I want to make sure I place those strategically, and then I'll fill in the rest with my jute colored fabric. But as you can see, like this area is already filled in enough in this area, but this area still needs more. So this is where I'm going to concentrate. I have all my mesh on my wreath and I am so happy with the result. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Very, very pretty. And then once I get my sign placed, you can see that you won't be able to see any of my work or the wreath form. Now before I place this on my wreath, there's one more thing I want to do to help prepare this for being outside. I'm going to be putting this wreath on my front door. I found this at my local hardware store, Minwax Finishing Wax. It protects and polishes furniture, trim, paneling, natural. I'm going to be using this to put a nice sealed cover over the top of my turkey because it's going to be outside on my front door during fall. So we get a lot of rain, moisture, warm days, cold nights. Okay, now this wax is slightly tinted, but that's okay. Once I get this on, I don't think you're going to notice. Just use an old rag and then just go over and give it a nice light rub. Once you've gone over it once lightly with a good coat, take a nice clean spot on your rag and go over and remove any excess. I really like that. It added just a slight sheen and made the paint look nice and rich. This will protect it from the weather. Now I used all of the pattern roll of mesh. That was only 19 feet long. This jute colored mesh was 10 yards, and I do have a little bit of this left, so if I needed to, I could always go back and add some more. So I just wanted to recap what I did. On the outer ring, I did 20 bundles. On the inner ring, I did 23 bundles because I filled in more here. The next ring, I did 8, and I did every other one. And then I did about 5 or 6 to finish filling in right here in the center. And now I'm going to attach my turkey. I just want to make sure I get his positioning correct so that you don't see the wire frame in the back. Use your pipe cleaners and your floral wire, feed it through the mesh back to the wire frame and attach. When you initially attach, you want to make sure you attach it loosely until you get it in the correct position, and then you can tighten him down. And I have my sign fully attached. Doesn't that look absolutely beautiful? I am very pleased with the end result. I did get him on nice and sturdy. The only addition that I did is I took and did one curl and just kind of put it underneath the sign to give it a little bit of height so that it was a little bit more even on the wreath. But I'm super happy with that. I really do love that color combination. I think it's absolutely perfect for fall and Thanksgiving. And there you go, we are all done. I have my turkey on. I think he looks rather handsome, and his feathers are absolutely gorgeous. I really do love that color combination. Now I did use one 10-inch roll of each of them. The pattern was only 19 feet long, and the jute colored was 10 yards. But it completely filled in this 14-inch wreath and gave our turkey a beautiful set of feathers. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's unique craft. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and show me some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. And if you know anyone else who would enjoy my content, please share it with them. Thanks so much for stopping by. You know it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and strong. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time.